talk here.
Okay, gotcha. And I'm...
Take when you're ready.
All right. Yeah.
Hey everyone, we're here at Digital Club Network, and I'm here with John Stevens, who just put on an incredible performance here at the Pseudo Studios down on Broadway in Houston. John is an extremely talented performer that's been doing this a number of years, and we're going to get in and find out his story. Thanks for being here, John.
My pleasure, man. Good to be here.
Fantastic performance. Let's start at the beginning, though, and lead up to tonight.
Okay.
Music. At what point did it come into your life?
Ever since I can remember.
Okay.
My family is very musical. My parents sing. My uncles sing. My grandmother played the organ at my church. And ever since I was, a baby, music was in my life. And I started playing pretty young. I was playing when I was about 5 or 6 years old. Playing classical, playing gospel.
Playing piano?
Playing piano, yes.
Okay.
And I've been singing since about then. And I started in the choir at church, and I've been doing it ever since. It hasn't stopped ever.
So it's always been your thing?
It's always been part of my life.
Right
it's
on.
like a natural thing.
So, and where was this?
Back in Springfield, Ohio,
Springfield,
actually.
Ohio,
Yeah.
which is in what part of Ohio?
It's western Ohio. It's kind of close to Dayton.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And you grew up there,
Grew up
music
there.
and then from there you went...
Graduated from high school.
Right.
Then went to college out in Philadelphia at U of Pennsylvania.
University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
What did you do music-wise there?
I directed an a cappella group, one of the top co-ed groups in the country called Counterparts. And I also directed the music department at a church, directing choirs, doing gospel music, and just running the music department there, and playing the piano and things.
Okay.
And so I was pretty busy.
Songwriting started when?
Songwriting started probably when I was 10, 11.
10, 11.
Yeah, I was writing songs.
What were those songs like?
What were those songs like? Well, I was writing some gospel songs when I was a kid.
Okay.
And then I was also writing, about love and corny things.
Right.
They were okay.
Any of those
and I would
songs?
try to hit on girls with them.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Any of those songs survive?
None of those songs survive. The oldest song I'm singing now is probably Just in Time, which I wrote when I was about 19. So
Cool.
It's been about 4 years now.
You're
I'm
how old?
23 now.
23.
Yeah.
Okay. So graduation from Penn.
Yes.
Is that when you moved to New York?
I briefly stopped in Boston for a year,
Okay.
and then I moved to New York after that.
Were you performing as John Stevens?
I was performing as John Stevens.
Well, I mean, it's your name, so
Yes, I was an act, an entity.
Yeah.
I actually started doing a little bit right when I was about to graduate from school.
Okay.
And then even when I was in Boston, I would commute down here and perform a little bit.
Sure.
But when I moved to New York is when we really kicked in full force, and we've been pretty much performing ever since.
In those performances, was it a full band? Or?
Yeah, I try to be with the full band most of the time.
You ever perform solo?
Oh yeah, I do things like sit in and play the piano somewhere and sing.
Sure.
Just whenever. I sometimes I'll just go to record labels and sit down and play the piano, and that'll be it. But I've been doing that since I was a kid, so that's a natural thing too.
Cool.
I like to do it with the full-on experience with the band.
Well, let's talk about that. Tell me about putting together this band and where everyone came from and how long you've been playing with them, etc.
Cool. Back in I guess 2000. Me and my friend Dave Tozer, who wrote a lot of the songs with me and produced both of my CDs.
Okay.
He and I were working on a lot of songs together, and we figured we wanted to actually put them out there and play them in public, and we wanted a band to do it, and so we just started calling some friends, seeing who would want to play.
Sure.
And got a lot of my good friends to do it, and then some new people that I hadn't met before and really clicked with. And we've all come together. I've been playing with the same people for about a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it all came together while you were in New York.
It came together. Yeah, I was back and forth. I'm
back
quite a
and forth.
commuter.
Okay.
I was in Boston, New York, and driving back and forth to Philly too.
And the band is still centered
New
in
York
different.
and Philly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And we play in New York and Philly all the time.
Right.
About half and half. So.
Okay, that was something I also wanted to touch on. Philly, obviously, great music scene. New York, obviously. Do you find a difference in playing between the two cities? Do you think there's a different vibe, or do you think there's a...
I would say there are a lot more professional music venues here, a lot more live music venues here in New York. There's a more diverse scene, I would say, of music, and there's there's a lot more places that are like real live music venues. But Philly has a really cool scene going on too. We've played quite a few places down there too, and a really great soul audience there. They really love soul music down there, love hip hop, and so they really relate to what we're doing down there. And we found some cool places to play down there.
So good audiences in Philly.
Yeah, we have great audiences in both cities.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, that's great. That's great. So equally, separate.
I like them. I like them both. I love living in New York, and I probably wouldn't change that. But I love playing in Philly. We have a lot of love down there. A lot of friends down there, and a lot of people that really picked up on the music and are becoming fans.
Okay. Songwriting.
Yes.
How do the songs start? How do you write a lot with Dave?
Right.
And you know, how does it happen?
One of us will come up with some kind of melody idea, and you know, just come to your head. Usually, it comes to me in the subway or walking to work or something, and it just comes to you, you know. And then after that, you just start to build on it. You start to build a musical concept, a lyrical concept, and then finally, after you write all the lyrics, which always takes the longest, then you have a song, and then you start to either record it or start to develop it for the band so we can play it out live. And either I'll start that or Dave will start that, and then we'll usually work on it together once we've, you know, got a little bit of a start on it. And then I work with a couple other people too sometimes. Just you know, I like to collaborate with someone because I just like to get someone else's ear.
Right. How long does it, you know, your average song, I know nothing's going to be average, but say start to finish.
It takes forever, way too long.
Yeah,
some songs, they take me forever, honestly. I'll write the music for them. I always write the music first. That's always done. And then I'll have like a chorus, but then like 3 months later, I'll finally write the lyrics to it.
Okay.
But some of them, they all just come in 3 days, you know?
Right.
Sometimes you just get this fit of creativity and everything comes to you. And so you never can predict.
Yeah. Well, collaboration that you mentioned. Artists you've collaborated with. I know, you know, from researching some of the stuff, you've collaborated with some pretty big name artists.
Yeah, I actually, early on, back in '98, I actually played on Lauryn Hill CD, played on Everything Is Everything.
Sure.
Just played keyboards. And then I've done some work with a producer that was on that CD named Beta Nobles. And he had me come in and do some recording with him and Praz from the Fugees and Scarface. And I just did some lead vocals on the chorus for that song. Hasn't come out yet, but it's called Crooked Cops. Then I've done a little bit of session work here and there. I did a little bit of work for Faith Evans for her last album, Faithfully. Played on one of the songs on that album too.
Yeah, well, it's quite a collection of names.
Yeah.
You know, do you feel when you work with someone like that, do you feel intimidated, or do you feel at all, or do you just feel like...
Not really intimidated. I get nervous about lots of things, but music is actually not one of them. Honestly, I've been doing it since I was 5 years old, and it really comes naturally. And I'm used to learning quickly. I usually just go in the studio and they want me to play it right away or want me to sing whatever right away. And I'm really used to that. When we grew up in church, it would be a lot about improvisation, so you had to have a quick ear. And so it's actually usually comes pretty naturally. I mean, you're kind of nervous talking to them and meeting them and everything, but once we get down to the music and get to work, it usually comes pretty naturally.
Well, yeah, it's confidence in your craft. Well, the CD, you've got a new CD, John Stevens, live at Jimmy's Uptown.
Yes, we do.
That's we were talking about it earlier, live recording. It's
just raw, straight from the show, and no major tweaking or anything. It's just what it is, and captures the energy of our live performance, which I think is a lot of fun.
When did you record it?
We did this back in May 2001. Recorded at Jimmy's Uptown up in Harlem. Excuse me. And we mixed it down and mastered it recently, and we've put it out on the market. We're selling it on the web at www.john-stevens.com.
John, JOHN-STEPHENS.com.
Yes, with the PH.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, you can pick that up online. And if you live in New York and you come to one of my shows, you can pick it up too.
And on TCN, we do have a link to that site. So
absolutely.
Please visit that and pick it up, because it is fantastic, and it's a fantastic live performance. What are you thinking about when you're playing live?
What I'm thinking about, I'm looking at the audience, connecting with them, looking in their faces and seeing what's going on with them, and trying to really get pumped up by their energy, you know. and it usually works because the crowds usually respond pretty well, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just feeling their energy and reacting to that.
Yeah, I mean it's a great show. It'd be hard to sit still and not smile and
it's fun. I have fun singing the music just because it's like fun stuff to play.
Yeah, so it's a communication thing. It's a back and forth. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's talk short term, like say a year from now. You've got the CD out.
Yeah.
What's the next? The next step. Where do you see the next 6 to 12 months going?
Well, I want the world to hear this music, and I think one of the best ways to do that is to probably get a major label deal and make that happen. And so I'm currently in pursuit of one, looking for a home for me, for my music, a good label that'll be really interested in pushing it and be passionate about it as I am, and push it out to the audience. And I want to be out touring by then, supporting some new album that's coming out.
Sure.
That's what I want in the next 12 months.
Yeah. Studio album versus a live album. Would you see? Would you think that a studio album by you would still have a lot of a live feel? I mean,
well, I definitely would. We would approach it differently. I mean, we would approach it. It wouldn't have the same exact feel, but we would try to convey the energy we have on stage and still convey that in the studio. First of all, we start with the beat, just bringing a banging hip hop beat to it, and really like pumping the song up with that, with the low end, and then coming in with with some cool live sounds like cool guitars and organs and Rhodes and lots of cool sounds to go on top of all that. And I think the energy will come through. And then my voice has a lot of energy inherently, so that'll come through hopefully too.
What contemporary artists, like if you had to say one, and I know that's not fair, but what's an artist that's around today and performing that blows you away fairly consistently?
Recently, the album that moved me the most and inspired me the most was Lauryn Hill's Miseducation album.
Sure. Well, and you played on it.
I played on it, which is quite an honor, and it has nothing to do with me playing on it, but I just think it's brilliant music, brilliant songwriting. She found a way to take hip hop, take soul music, and make it commercial, but still have a lot of soul to it. And I don't know, it was just something about it. It was just a powerful record, and seeing her live and the whole thing was just like an amazing time.
Absolutely.
One of my good friends actually sang backups with her on tour and on the album, and just being able to be close to that and see that was a wonderful thing.
Sure. How about songs wise? What would you say non-musical influences you? I mean, what is emotions or what kind of things that do you think?
Most of the stuff I write about is stuff either I'm going through or personally, or a lot of my friends are going through. Just kind of everyday stuff like relationships, like just whatever frustrations people are having or whatever. It's just kind of everyday circumstances. Usually I don't write about anything too profound or deep or anything, just kind of everyday stuff. A lot of relationship stuff, but I mean, just kind of everyday stuff usually.
Now, you're graduated with the University of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Obviously, we both know that music is a tough road to take.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's it's a hard road ahead of you. Is what I'm trying to say. Why?
Because I love it. Like I can't help it. It's something I grew up doing, and I can't imagine not doing it. And the pinnacle of that would be to be able to do it full time and do it all over the world. And have people appreciate it and connect with them. That seems like the optimal thing for me, and that's what I want to do.
If you were put on the spot and asked, what is it about music? I mean, like on a good night, or like what, or at least one of the things, or two of the things that really.
I think when you know that you have a gift to do something, you feel like it's something you were put here to do. Like I feel like as soon as I was born, like it was something that was part of me. And when you feel like you can do that and also get the energy from people and have them appreciate it and feel it, and you can feel them through that and inspire people and get inspiration yourself through it, I think I can't imagine anything better to do with my time than do that.
Right.
I really can't.
I mean, I don't think that anyone who saw the show tonight would argue with you there. Well, the only thing I need to do is bring it full circle.
Okay.
And we're obviously a technology company, and Talk about how you use your site and technology to promote yourself as an artist.
It's really like the best missionary or messenger I have for myself is my site, because everyone can go there and check out what I'm doing, listen to my music, find out about me, see pictures, see everything they want to know about my career and what I'm trying to do. And we really can connect with people. We have like a chat room on there called the Graffiti Wall, where people just can post whatever they feel about the songs and post whatever they feel about the last show or something that they saw. And we get a lot of responses on there, and it just feels good to have some kind of interaction and communication with the rest of the world. And people just are sitting at home, you know, doing that. And it's kind of cool because, you know, you don't get to talk to everyone after the show. You don't get to know everything about everyone that you've touched at the show, and it's cool to like have another medium to exchange that.
Yeah. So I think that more and more we see people going to the internet for their music.
Yeah, people want to know about it, and that's usually the best way to find out on demand about what's going on with artists, new music. It's a great way to break a new song because people can just, you know, download it and check it out, you know, and they don't have to go out and buy a CD, and it's really like a way of interacting and communicating with the fans.
Okay. Well, again, we want to say it's www.john-stevens.com, and that's STEPHENS.
Yes.
That's all we have. Thank you very much for John for coming down and hanging out with us and playing a fantastic set, and to his band, of course.